We're going to come off the back of Deep End, your collab with Dylan Wright.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
just imagine that's just played, and that's where I'll be jumping in. How
Cool.
good is that? A new collab with Australian Idol winner 2024, Dylan Wright. We've got the incredible Mel Dyer here with us. Hey Mel, how you doing?
I'm good, Maddie. How you going?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good to catch up with you on the show. Where do we join you?
For Macquarie at the moment. So
Okay.
yeah, just got back from a run down in Melbourne. So it's a nice sunny day compared to Melbourne weather.
You're on your Had to Be There tour at the moment. How's it all going?
Going really well. It's so fun. We launched, the single Had to Be There, and it just made for the perfect tour name because we're making all these memories together. You have to be there. So it's been really fun and to get to places that we haven't been before, down to play my first shows in Melbourne, headline shows, and Sydney, all going up to Queensland. We've been, regional New South Wales. So it's lots of fun.
I'm loving the song. Can you tell me all about it? Like, where did the idea come from, and how did this song come to be?
Had to be there. Oh, well, I wrote that one in Nashville about a year ago, and I wrote it with some mates. And you know how you just in life experience these moments and you go to tell somebody, it might be like a funny story or something that you just can't put into words. And you just kind of pass it off as, oh, you had to be there. That's kind of like how it originated. And I wrote it in my phone. And then, of course, yeah, we've turned it into the tour. So yeah, I wrote that one in Nashville and Deep End as well. The one you just played, I wrote that in Nashville, I think on the same trip. So maybe even the day before I wrote Had to Be There, I wrote
How did
Deep End.
how did Deep End come about? Tell me about that song.
So Deep End, I mean, that one's more of a love song. So it kind of just evolved. It wasn't ever supposed to be a duet, but I sat with the demo for about a year and I kind of realized that lyrically it should have a male perspective and it should be a duet. So I had just kind of sat with it for ages, and then I heard Dylan Wright's voice on Australian Idol, and he obviously took out the win. And I slid right into his DMs and I said to him, hey, you don't know me. I've got this song. I would love you to be a part of it. Here it is. And he messaged back straight away and he said, I'm actually a big fan. I would love to do this song with you. Let's make it happen. So, yeah, we got him in the studio. I recorded my parts in Nashville, and Tom Jordan from Seaforth, who are a country duo from Australia. Tom Jordan produced it and produced my part. And then we got Dylan in the studio in Byron Bay to do his part.
That is so cool. And when you say you slid into DMs, right? I mean, I know that sounds very casual, but are we literally talking like you just slide into Instagram DMs or something like that?
Yeah, like literally. I slid straight into the DMs and I just hit him up. And it's funny how many collabs and projects actually happen that way because I feel like it's just the fastest way to get to an artist and get to a friend. Like, you probably should go through all the protocols of management and all this stuff, but sometimes you just want to get direct to the source. So, and then we involved management and things later. So,
'Cause I was thinking that I'm like, does she go through her label or is it just like, no, I'm just going to take care of this straight to Instagram and like, straight to Dylan?
yeah, I'm a get it done kind of gal. So, I mean, beg for forgiveness. Is that what they say?
Absolutely. Look, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, I say.
That's the one.
And what was it like? What was his response? How did you guys, work together? What was it like working with Dylan?
It was great. So yeah, his response was really, really positive, obviously, straight away. We turned it around really quickly. I sort of chimed in on the phone when he was doing his session because I'd already recorded all my parts. So it was really cool to be there in real time while he was in the vocal booth. And we kind of laid down a track for him to follow and to get his harmonies and everything. And then last week, we were actually both in Melbourne at the same time. So we played it together at his show and performed it. We debuted it at the Gympie Music Muster because we were both on that as well. So it's been fun already to get up and sing it together at each other's shows. And I'm sure there'll be plenty more where we get up and get to do it together.
So, am I right in thinking that he laid his vocals before you guys had actually met in person?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So it had been one Instagram DM. He did his vocals, and then about a week or two later, I said, "Hey, we're coming through your neck of the woods. Love to do some content." So before the song came out, so the first time we actually met was after he'd recorded, and it was on like the day that we recorded, filmed all this content together. So we got straight into the thick of it, and I roped him into doing this little funny skit where I pick up a hitchhiker on the side of the road and it's him. Oh, I just I just made this amazing confetti on my screen.
Yeah,
Anyway,
for
so I
for
picked
people
up,
listening, confetti just filled our computer screen. I love that.
they're celebrating that it's a win. So we did this skit and I roped him into being a hitchhiker on the side of the road. And he was on his way to a gig and he broken down and I drove past and picked him up. And I said, "Oh, hey, you're Dylan, right?" Get it? Didn't you?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I said, I've got this song. I have to sign off on it soon, but I feel like there's something missing and I want to show you the song." And so I played it for him in this little skit. And then he just starts singing this amazing verse and harmony. So obviously we did that on day one. So I got him straight into acting, and from there we've just become instant friends. So it's been good.
Oh, that is so cool. What do you say to him when you first meet him? You're like, oh yeah, thanks for doing that bit on the song for me. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, well, pretty much like that. I was thankful, but he was also thankful. So we are both kind of just like, this is awesome. We've made it happen. We both really love the song. He's been such a champion in, sharing it and shouting it from the rooftops as well. So we're really proud of it. And, it's just been great that we're both on tour at the moment and we're both just have lots of things going on. So it just made perfect sense. And it's a bonus that he's just a really nice guy as well.
That's always a bonus. Hey, welcome home, by the way, off the Nashville stage. I've got to ask, because I love it when you've got an Aussie who goes over to America. And I've got to ask, what do you love about Nashville? What do you love about Australia? Who's got the best of both worlds?
Oh, I mean, Australia, there's no place like home, obviously. And I think we really do have some amazing talent in Australia in country music. So many artists flying the flag. And we've also got great crowds. CMC Rocks Festival, for example. I've been lucky to play that 5 times in my career. And they just sold out for next year in like a matter of days, maybe not even days. So it's a testament to the genre in Australia and the talent that we have. Nashville is just this inspiring bubble of musos and artists and songwriters that are just trying to do it as a full-time thing, and they're really inspired. It's a city that's just full of music 24/7. So I think the difference is that it never stops in Nashville. Australia is on and off. We can't sustain music every day of the week. Throughout the year there's not enough people in Australia and everyone lives too far away, so it's hard. But in Nashville it's like this little hub of music. The honky tonks are going off from like 9 a.m. till 3 a.m. And there's just an amazing strip of studios and publishing houses and writers that just get in and do it every single day. So it's really cool to be surrounded by that.
What was it like on your first trip to Nashville? Like, what goes through your head when you're walking down the street? What are you thinking to yourself?
I mean, it's a really humbling experience, I think, because you get to achieve some things in Australia and you sort of get to this level and you're like, okay, how do I go from here? Like, what next? You get over to Nashville and you're starting from scratch. You are just surrounded by so much talent that it brings you right back down to ground zero. And I kind of just walk the streets thinking, oh my gosh, Taylor Swift, this strip, Music Row, when she was like 15 years old, handing out a physical CD of her demos to these, record labels. And that's how it all began. And she met her writing, partner, Liz Rose, who wrote All Too Well and You Belong With Me. And a full circle moment happened. I got to sing You Belong With Me with Liz Rose in Nashville last time I was there on the Listening Room Cafe stage. And, just the Bluebird, it's just, a lot of things go through your head, but I think it's kind of equally daunting. Like, how could this ever happen for me? But at the same time, it's like, this is the place where it will happen for me. So it's kind of this weird, strange feeling.
That is amazing. Thank you for sharing an insight into Mel's headspace.
There's a lot going on in there.
I know that leads me to my next question. What's your process for writing? Like I like to ask artists how they approach that music writing process. And for some people, they're like, yeah, it just comes to me. Or some people are like, I've got a space, I've got to go light the candles, I've got to get a cup of tea. If I'm Mel, if I'm sitting down to write music, can you paint that picture for us?
Look, it's crazy. The process is kind of strange. It's like magic just kind of falls from the sky sometimes. Sometimes you really have to work at it as well. And it's like this aggravating thing where you're like, why can't I get this line? It's not right, but I don't know what it is. Um, for me, there's a bit of a discipline to it as well. I can sit down and say, right, I'm going to, write a song as if it's a project that I have to complete. So the craft of it and the structure of it really is something that I love to follow. But then you'll just be driving one day and this complete melody and chorus just comes into your head and you've just got to pull over and, record gibberish into your voice memos. I've got about a million voice memos clogging up my phone. Quite embarrassing if you went through them to listen and be like, what is that? How could that ever be a song? But it's different every time. And, I love collaborating. I've been an artist for so long, writing my own songs, but I absolutely love writing for other artists. I've been lucky to write with James Johnston and Kaylee Bell and the Wolf Brothers and a whole bunch of amazing Australian artists. And hopefully I can do that with some Americans as well over in Nashville soon.
Have you got anyone on the list? I mean, obviously you have a list, whether it's written down or it's just up there in your head. Do you have a list of people that you would love to collab with?
I mean, if it's artists that I'd love to collaborate with, Miley Cyrus is like at the top of my
Oh,
list. I think she's incredible. There are amazing, country artists like Luke Combs, obviously Keith Urban. Um, I love Teddy Swims at the moment. I mean, there are Sabrina Carpenter. It's just changes. I love pop and I love country. So anyone who's fusing them, like Post Malone at the moment, so cool to my ears. I absolutely love that fusion. But I've got a whole list of songwriters that are my dream collaborators, but you wouldn't know who they are, but they're these just underground famous machines that create these hits that nobody knows who these people are, but I know these songs and I just think they're so inspiring.
so in other words, keep an eye on your DMs because Mel might be jumping in them very soon.
I'm just gonna make a habit of just being that girl that slides into all the DMs like, hello, you don't know me.
You're on tour at the moment. You're in Port Macquarie. What's it like to be on the road? Where are you headed next? And is there a place that you're really excited you want to go to?
Oh, well, yeah, it's nice to be home for a weekend. We've been in the thick of it, doing the long hauls. Next, we're off to Brisbane next week on Friday night, and then Toowoomba, and that's the end for now of the Little Had to Be There tour. But then October is full of festivals, so Savannah, Groundwater, Ballindine, a whole bunch. My hometown, I get to go back and play the headline spot in my hometown festival. So that's a pretty cool one because there's no place like, your hometown. You get the whole community together. So I grew up in Inverell, northern New South Wales. So that'll be fun. But there's also something very exciting that I'm announcing soon. So if people want to jump on my socials and follow me,
Oh,
I can't announce it yet, but I'm
are you sure?
about to join an international artist
it's
on
a
their
it's a safe
Aussie tour.
space here on the show. If you just want to tell us, I won't tell anyone. I promise.
I'll tell you that this artist has already sold out a few of these shows. So I'm
Oh,
joining international artist on his tour very soon.
okay,
So that should be
okay.
announced this
When
year.
you say international artist, is it a country artist, a pop artist?
It's a country artist, yes.
Okay, okay. Oh, that is very exciting. Let's touch
The
on
T.
Inverell for. Look, I know you're such a tease. Let's touch on Inverell for a moment. What's it going to be like playing back at home? Is a family going to be there? Is there, what's it going to be like jumping on stage back in your hometown?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I think that it'll be heartwarming and it's always good, because I don't always get to have my family, obviously, wherever I go. We do a lot of gigs and they're on the farm. I grew up on a farm, so they're at home, and they'll bring my nephew and my nieces down, and my sisters are there, and obviously hometown friends that I went to school with, and just people that I know. My nana, like it'll be just
Man,
heartwarming. I
how
think
good is
so.
that?
I know Nana. She's an absolute champion, and she will be down the front in her merch, and she'll be singing along. And she's 90 next year, so
Oh
she
my
is a
God.
legend.
Is she your biggest fan?
I think she'd have to be. She plays my music every night before she goes to bed. She said, but not the ones that like you guys know of. She plays like home videos that were my recordings
Oh,
when I was like 12 years old, singing like John Williamson and things. Like it's so cute.
oh, that is so special. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the road very soon, Mel. Good luck up in Brizzy, and I can't wait for you to play it in Inverell. Thank you so much for hanging with us on Fresh Nights. Please do come and chill with us again. And we look forward to speaking to you very soon in the future.
I'd love to. Thanks, Maddie. See ya.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks so much. Have a good one, Doc. See ya.